What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name's Amelia and I like to do like low budget car camping. I used to drive a Hyundai Accent. I started doing car camping trips in that car, but today we're not going on a trip. We're gonna do another project for the car because that's another thing I like to do. I like to do these little DIY things to make car camping easier, more comfortable, or just cool little things that would be fun to have like on these trips. So today we're gonna install a roof rack because as you see, she looks a little bald. So what I did is I bought a factory roof rack at a pick and pull. They just pulled it off of a 2011 Subaru Forester. We're gonna install that one onto my Subaru. I actually haven't been able to find any information on doing that. I don't know, I'm no expert. So let's see if we can get a functional roof rack installed into this baby. So these are the pieces that I bought from the pick and pull, and they just gave me all the little bits and pieces that came with it. There's also a bag of like bolts and nuts and clips and stuff. So we're gonna have to figure out where all those things go since there's no instruction manual. They just sold it to me for 160 bucks and said good luck. I think we got this. We'll figure it out. Between me and my friend Derek, we got this. So the first thing that you're gonna have to do is take out the headliner, this part of your roof. So you're gonna have to like take out, like pop all these things off, and there's screws under there. You're gonna have to unscrew all that stuff, take off your visors, unplug your lights and all that stuff all around so that this can come down, because you're gonna need access to your roof from the inside and the outside, so that way you can like screw in the bolts and stuff. So that's gonna be pretty time consuming, but bring some Ziploc bags and a marker so you can mark where all your nuts and bolts are coming from, so you know where to put them back and you're not putting all this stuff back on and realize you're like missing some bolts or don't know where something goes, you know. So step one, let's get to it. Okay, so I took out the lights, the visors, some side paneling so that it's just easier to like lift the headliner out when we're trying to pull it down.
You have to remove these right here beside the seats. They just pop out. Also, there were the clips for the visors.
This thing was so hard to get out because I thought you just popped it out like the other things in the car, but you actually press in the side so that you can pull it out. So I ended up like breaking it a little bit because I just like yanked it out with my force. Just press it in and then it should come out.
All right, let's drop this headliner.
Let's drop it down. Let's do this. There's some clips and some tapes. You just pop it off. I'd be careful not to bend the headliner. Oh, you hear that? It's clipped in somewhere. Oh, it's bending a little bit.
Let's try to... I feel like I have to take this all the way off.
I couldn't figure out this without unscrewing the seatbelt and stuff, so I was gonna try to just not need to take them.
Okay.
Okay, so the headliner is officially down. These are the two bolts that we need to take out so we can replace them with the ones that are on the roof rack. These are the airbags, so don't want to mess those up.
But the battery's disconnected, so those shouldn't just fire off randomly.
You disconnected the battery because let's just safer that way, because we had to like take out the lights and stuff, like unplug that electrical stuff. So always unplug your battery. Yeah, and while my headliner's out, Derek was kind enough to give me some of his sound deadening strips so we can put them on the roof. Do as many things as you can while your headliner's out, because this is a bitch and a half to get it out. All right, as you can see, I'm done installing the noise deadening stuff. That'll help eliminate some like driving noise, like wind noise. If I'm like sleeping in there and it's raining, it'll eliminate some of that rain noise, so it won't be as loud when I'm trying to sleep. Eventually I will install some on the inside of the wheel wells, because I'm eventually going to get some beefier tires and those make more road noise, so I will put some there too, just for a quieter drive. All right, back to the roof rack install. Let's get it. So we got to locate each location for these three And then the two in the back, we just looked at those.
So we'll figure out if this just pops in or not, or if we need to drill holes.
All right, so next step is to 10 millimeter wrench to loosen up those
Sorry.
those nuts. I don't ever want to have to take this motherfucker out ever again. Okay.
Reupholster it.
That's what I was thinking about though. That kind of sounds cool.
Yeah, you could.
I would just get fabric and like spray adhesive.
Yep. Fabric and spray adhesive, that's all you need to do.
This is such a time-consuming project, let me tell you. This has been taking all day, just unscrewing things basically. It's a little frustrating, but it's saving me so much money. I finally got the bolts off, they're the nuts or whatever they're called, off of these things. So now we're gonna pop this black thing off, and then we're gonna see what we're working with in terms of holes for the new rack. When I pulled those pieces off at Pick and Pull, this little segment of trimming or whatever this is, I know this goes in the front, so I popped that in place. And I can see right here that line, it's like a mark where this part used to rest. So that's how we knew where to line it up, how far back to go. And like one of the holes from the things we pulled out matches up over there. So this one lines up with that hole. So we don't have to drill that one. This one lines up with the hole that we saw in here. Yeah, like there's like an access point through here. And then there's that hole right up there. So we're just gonna drill through that spot since we know that it can go through right there. And then we're just gonna chop this one off because this is right where the airbags are, and that just seems a little too risky, and I do not feel like removing all that freaking airbag shit. So we're just gonna slice that off and drill some holes up here too.
Cool.
For these two. All this bullshit, all this time that I spent getting these fucking things out was for nothing basically, because it was just for these things, which is what you'd use to install like an aftermarket roof rack. They go like in here. So when I get to that side, I'm not even gonna bother with that one because it was useless. I'm just gonna take out these two because one of the holes can be used for this one right here. So I actually, yeah, just need to take out those two and then drill the holes, and then that should be good. That should be pretty easy to just drill this roof rack in after that. We're getting somewhere! Oh my god, I'm excited. All right, and a little hack Derek also thought of is if you mark the bottoms of the screws just with some nail polish, then when you like lift it and then set it back down, it'll like leave little stamp marks where you're gonna need to drill into the car. That's freaking genius. Alright. He's making a divot for the drill bit to go into so it's not just sliding around when we start drilling. And then just one hole over there. So 2 holes up here where these nail polish marks are.
Okay, one right there as well.
Yeah, and then one back there. And then we're gonna shave that long boy off. We have a hole. Okay, so we got that third bolt off. I just clamped it with these things because they clamp it like super hard. And then I just like wiggled it until it just popped off. And it popped off nice and short, so that should be fine. So now we just have that one, and those two that will be put into the car. So we're just short one. It should be sturdy enough with that. Time to drill the other side of my roof. Oh my god. I finished screwing in all the holes and I just put the roof racks on just to see if it fits. And they fit in the holes. Yes, oh my God. Thank God I didn't drill holes in my roof for nothing. So now I have to go to the store to get some like silicone. I think Derek called it RTV. So it's like some silicone like sealant stuff that you put when you're screwing in the bolts and stuff, just to make it like watertight. And then like I think once I like drill the bolts back on, it'll sandwich this down more, because there's like a gap right now, not sure why, but and then I have to put the black trim on the front and in the middle too. And then after that I'm done. All I have to do is like reassemble the inside of my car, but I'm actually gonna leave the headliner out for a little while because I'm thinking of like reupholstering the headliner since it's already out, and I'll probably just finish my roof rack, put as much of my car back together as I can, but leave the headliner out, and then I'll be done. Yay! Oh, and I need to install the crossbars. So I'll let you know when I'm done with all of that. All right, this is what the finished roof rack looks like. We're on a camping trip in the forest, in the snow. It's been a couple days since I was doing the roof rack project. I put some RTV silicone sealant on the bolts before screwing all the bolts in and plugging the holes from where I took those like output things at, so that I could use one of the holes for the roof rack. So I plugged those, sealed those, used the water hose to check to see if there's any leaks before I put the headliner back in. And before I put the headliner back in, that's when I did the sound deadening, and I also put some insulation with the Reflectix. Just some, it's not that great, but like it's better than nothing, and the headliner was already out, so I figured I'd do something. It was so hard, it very time consuming, tedious. It wasn't really hard, it was more tedious than anything. It took me like 2.5 hours to put the headliner back in, and when I was decorating the headliner, all I used was spray adhesive and the fabric of my choice, and I just made sure to make it nice and smooth as I was gluing it, and then I put it back in. And peep this, peep this. So a lot of people are wondering how I did my floral headliner, and I can't really do a tutorial, so I'll just kind of talk about what I did. I just used spray adhesive to glue the fabric on. I started with the middle section and then worked my way out the edges so it'll be nice and smooth and even across the whole thing. As you can see, some of the spots are already drooping down because I think I went a little too light-handed with the spray adhesive because I was just scared of it showing up. But I think there's a Gorilla Glue brand spray adhesive that might work better. I hope you enjoyed this video, and stay tuned, subscribe if you want to see the other projects that I do for this car. Give this video a like if you feel like this was useful at all. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.